Hello, welcome to this video here on the AutPlay Therapy YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Robert Jason Grad, and I'm going to be talking today and showing you some resources for archetype cards. This may be something that you've heard about before. Maybe you have some, maybe you're using them already. I really like archetype card decks. I think that there's just so much you can do with them as they become so interesting sometimes in the therapy process. So I'm going to show you a couple of resources and talk about using them. The first one I want to show you is called Dream Big Archetype Deck. And this is by Nicole LaRue. Looks like this. It's a box. Again, Dream Big Archetypes Deck by Nicole LaRue. And so when you open this, you get all of these archetype cards. There's a bunch in here. And this is kind of silly and not quite that important for therapy, but I like it. You get a little card stand. I don't know why they included that, but I like it. So you can actually, it's wood, and you can actually set the card in it and set it up while you're looking at it, which I don't know. I just think that's kind of fun. And that's part of this card deck. So look at all these cards you get, all these archetypes. So what you've got in this deck is you've got them represented like this one is sleuth, and then it talks about what that means. Take on the day with real mystery. Be a journeyer. Use your answers well. Feel all of the good fortune and craftiness you have in you. Sleuth. And then we've got one here, muse, and there's a little description. I mean, there's quite a few. Nomad, mystic. I really like the way that these are designed. Pirate, weaver. I really like the way that these are designed for kids. Like if I'm going to use these with kids, I like the illustrations and the style. They seem a little bit more kid friendly, and the descriptions aren't that detailed, but we get the point of what we're talking about. So, of course, directions come with this of ways that you can use the archetype cards. And that's great. You can follow those directions and you can use them in that way, but you don't have to. One of the things that I like to do is just keep it really simple with kids and go, hey, let's look through some of these. And if you see one or in the description that you read, you feel like that kind of sounds like you, or you connect with that in some way, let's put that aside and let's talk about that. So select some that just you feel like you connect with. That's how we start. And then once they have some, we can go through and talk about why did you pick healer? What about that did you feel like you connected with? And this is another intervention where you can do this with the child. You could pick some too, and you could share some of why you chose what you chose. So this is a really nice deck that you can use. Again, I'll show you the front of this. Dream Big. Really nice. I like using these a lot with my kid clients. And then we also have this. I think a lot of people have seen these cards. They're archetype cards. Carolyn Miss is the creator and archetype cards, and the box looks like this. So we'll open this up. This is a little bit more sophisticated, I would say, than the Dream Big cards. We have a whole book guide that comes with this if you're wanting to yourself learn more and read more about each card and about archetypes. And then our archetype cards, the graphics are a little bit more advanced, I would say. And then with these archetype cards, we have two things we're looking at. We have the light attributes at the top and the shadow attributes at the bottom. So let's just kind of look at one. This one is athlete. The light attributes say dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Shadow attributes, misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. So what's really interesting about these is you have the archetype, but then you have, I would describe it how it can be manifested and used in ways that are supportive and helpful for you, and ways that it can come out which aren't so great. That can be a really good discussion that you might have with some of your clients. And there are a ton of these cards in here that you can go through. When I have offered this up as an activity, again, there's instructions for different ways you can use them. But my basic use is, let's just take a look at these and pick some that you feel like you connect with. And then we'll discuss that, why you feel that way and what you think about the light versus the shadow attributes, and where maybe you see that coming out in yourself or your own life. You can also take these archetype cards and do an intervention where you kind of contrast, what do you feel like you connect with now as who you are and how your life is? And are there any cards that you feel like you wish were what you connected to that you don't feel like you connect to? And that can be a really cool discussion, especially for neurodivergent clients. Identity awareness and just the ability to know who you are and navigate as your authentic self without masking and other constructs that get in the way can be pretty challenging. So this more advanced deck, I would say, I guess I'll call it that, I sometimes use with teen clients. Maybe even if I'm working with some adult neurodivergent clients. For younger kids, little kids, maybe not. But the Dream Big cards work well for that. Or you can also use the Dream Big cards for teens, I think, or adults as well. So a couple of resources for archetype cards. There are other resources out there. These aren't the only ones. They're just two that I have that I've used a lot that I really like. It's the concept that I think is really interesting and I think could be a good tool for a structured or directive intervention that you could use with some of your clients. So hopefully you found that helpful. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the AutPlay YouTube channel and come back and watch more videos. Take care. Bye.